Cops bust drug syndicate involving couple and son. Economic sectors start gaining momentum, hold fast to SOP. Good afternoon, I'm Azlani and you're watching Updates at Noon. Police have busted a syndicate with the arrest of a couple and their son at their residence in Kampung Bukit Kuang, Kemaman, Terengganu. Also seized in the raid various drugs, cash and vehicles with a total value of 1.5 million ringgit. Terengganu Police Chief Datuk Rosli Chik said in the raid mounted by police from the Kemaman District Police Headquarters IPD at 1:45 a.m. on Sunday, police arrested 6 members of a family comprising a man aged 52, his 47-year-old wife, their son 22 and 3 daughters aged 9 to 17. The couple and their son are being remanded for 7 days from yesterday, while their 3 daughters who are still schooling were released by the court.
Di bilik kedua rumah suspek telah temui pasukan pemeriksaan telah temui syabu seberat 749 gram yang bernilai lebih kurang RM74,900 dan pil kuda sebanyak 10,200 biji yang bernilai harga sekarang RM10, 102,000 dan jadi jumlah nilai rampasan dadah di bilik tadi bernilai RM176,900. Kemudian pemeriksaan diteruskan lagi di dalam bilik yang sama di almari pakaian. Almari pakaian dalam bilik tersebut telah temui wang tunai cash money sebanyak RM321,100 dan duit ini adalah duit yang kita percayai dan kita yakini adalah duit hasil daripada penjualan darah.
He added that the 3 suspects were tested negative for drugs, but the man and his son had past criminal records involving drugs. He noted that the drugs were believed to be for the Kemaman and Kuantan markets, and based on the initial police investigation, the syndicate had been operating for almost a year. Police have busted the Tebok gang comprising Vietnam nationals involving in at least 6 cases of breaking into supermarkets and goldsmith shops in the Seberang Perai Utara district, causing almost 1 million ringgit in losses. This followed the arrest of 2 Vietnamese men in Taman Teratai Indah, Butterworth on 15 July. Seberang Perai Utara District Police Chief ACP Nur Zaini Muhammad Nur said police managed to track down a Proton Saga car with 2 Vietnamese men aged 33 and 38 inside it about 12:15 a.m. following intelligence work and surveillance since a week before in the Jalan Raja Uda area. Briefing reporters yesterday, he said upon inspecting the car, police found various devices such as screwdrivers, spanners and cable cutters believed to be used for break-ins, as well as sword believed to be used for self-defense if they were caught committing crime. He added police then raided the 2 men's rented houses in Mak Mandane and found various goods including clothes, shoes and electrical items, as well as some cash and overseas money transfer receipts.
Kita percaya kita dapat menyelesaikan setakat ni baru 6 kes 6 kes Ops Tebok, di mana MO dia ialah dia memecah masuk ke premis-premis perniagaan dan menggunakan peralatan-peralatan yang ada di depan ni, yang tuan-tuan lihat ni, dan telah menebuk peti besi dalam premis-premis tersebut lah.
During the break-in at a goldsmith shop in Mak Mandin, located only about 500 meters from the suspect's house, the suspects escaped with jewellery and cash, all amounting to 600,000 ringgit. The latest, according to ACP Nur Zaini, was that the gang broke into two supermarkets in Teluk Aitawa last Tuesday with losses amounting to 50,000 ringgit. The 6 cases resulted in a total loss of almost 1 million ringgit, with all the stolen money sent to their families in Vietnam. ACP Nur Zaini said the investigation also found that the 2 men who were working as pork butchers in Mak Mandin had been in this country since 3 years ago by using a social visit pass, and their passport each was also found to be fake. The 2 suspects are being remanded until July 28th, and the case is being investigated under Section 457 of the Prevention of Crime Act, POCA 1959. A psychiatric patient was killed by his friend allegedly over peeing frequently at a welfare home near Ipoh yesterday. District Police Chief ACP A. Asmadi Abdul Aziz said the 57-year-old victim was punched to death by his 53-year-old roommate at the Mental Health Welfare Centre in Tambun during the 8 a.m. incident. He said the victim, who had a vision problem and was not able to move, was also suffering from urinary incontinence, which saw him peeing frequently. The incident was noticed by another inmate who alerted the home's caretakers. The victim was taken to the Raja Permaisuri Bainun Hospital and was pronounced dead there. According to ACP Asmadi, initial investigation revealed that there was swelling on the victim's eyes, face and neck. Police believe that the suspect could not control his anger and had punched his friend several times. ACP Asmadi said that the welfare home was just opened recently and there were 47 male and 3 female patients residing there. The suspect had been arrested and will undergo a psychiatric assessment at Hospital Bahagia Ulu Kinta. The case is investigated under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murdering pending the suspect mental assessment report from the hospital. Police are in the midst of identifying 2 individuals believed to be women for alleged involvement in vandalizing the murals of national leaders at Taman Cahaya Alam, Section U12 Shah Alam, with offensive words. Shah Alam District Police Chief ACP Baharudin Mat Taib said the 2 individuals were detected from the closed-circuit television CCTV camera recording of a nearby shop. He said investigations were carried out under Section 504/427 of the Penal Code, which carries jail term of up to 5 years or a fine or both if convicted. The vandalism on the murals was noticed by a restaurant worker who happened to pass by the area at about 8 a.m. yesterday. Offensive words were seen written in red paint on the portraits of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah, Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, Health Director General Datuk Dr. Noh Hisham Abdullah and past President Datuk Sri Abdul Hadi Awang. The murals were the artworks of 3 young artists, namely Muhammad Suhaimi Ali, 27, Muhammad Firdaus Nordin, 26, and Abdul Hadi Ramli, 27. Meanwhile, the Sultan of Selangor, Sultan Sharifuddin Idris Shah, described the act of vandalism on the giant murals depicting portraits of several national leaders at Taman Cahaya Alam Section U12 as an uncivilized act. Sultan Sharifuddin, in a statement yesterday, expressed his deep sorrow, regret and frustration with the act of vandalism because he greatly appreciated the artwork of local artists produced in Selangor. He was also of the view that it was not done by insane individuals or delinquent youth, but more of a politically motivated hatred. Sultan Sharifuddin also hoped that the perpetrators will be arrested and prosecuted. Keen Wong, the editor of the controversial book titled Rebirth, Reformasi, Resistance and Hope in New Malaysia, which had a cover that allegedly insulted the country's coat of arms or Jata Negara, has been traced to be in Australia. Bukit Aman Criminal Investigation Department for Investigation and Legal Deputy Director DCP Mio Faridallah Thrash Wahid said that based on investigations, Wong celebrated Chinese New Year in Malaysia with his family earlier this year before returning to Australia at the end of January. He added that based on information, Wong's lawyer informed that the book editor has held permanent residence PR status in Australia for more than 10 years. He also explained that 8 of the book's writers, as well as graphic artists, front cover artists and book sales advisor have had their statements recorded, and that police also sought the views of 2 historians regarding the book. He said they were still investigating the case and the result will be handed over to the Attorney General's chambers for further action. The case is being investigated under Section 5 of the Emblems and Names Preventing Unlawful Use Amendment Act 2016, Section 4, Subsection 1 of the Sedition Act 1948, Section 8, Subsection 1 of the Printing Presses and Publication Act 1984, as well as Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998. The Perak State Health Department is investigating a viral picture of a woman who is said to be a patient under surveillance (PUS) for allegedly having failed to comply with the Home Surveillance Order (HSO). State Health Director Dr. Ding Lei Ming said they have taken note of the matter, which had gone viral on the social networking site Facebook since yesterday. Dr. Ding said in a statement that if found to be true, appropriate action including legal action will be taken against the woman. The picture of the woman eating at a cafe in Bandar Meru Jaya in Ipoh, Perak clearly shows her wearing a pink COVID-19 PUS wristband on her right hand, which indicates she is under quarantine. The matter also drew the attention of the Special Advisor to the Prime Minister on Public Health, Tan Sri Dr. Jamilah Mahmud, who wrote on her Twitter page that it's people like her that increase our nation's risk to a second wave. Following the viral footage, the owner of the cafe has come forward to make a statement on Facebook to dismiss accusation that they failed to screen the customer. Several areas in Klang and Kuala Langat are expected to experience unscheduled water supply disruption following a water pipe burst incident at Jalan Johan Setia and Jalan Langat, Klang. Pengurusan Ais Selangor and Sdn Bhd Ais Selangor Corporate Communications Head Elina Basri said the incident at around 4 p.m. could be caused by the boring activity for the construction of the Light Rail Transit 3 LRT3 project there. In a statement released last night, she said the areas in Klang which are expected to experience scheduled water supply disruption are Bandar Bestari, Batu 5 dan 6, Sijangkang and Jalan Johan Setia. In Kuala Langat, the affected areas are Sijangkang, Kampung Medan, Jalan Sijangkang Utama, Eco Sanctuary, Batu 9 Kebun Baru, Taman Pewira, Taman Seri Medan, Taman Sijangkang Jaya and Tropicana Aman. Elina said water tankers will be mobilized to provide water supply to those affected by the disruption. Coming up next, BSH Phase 3 payments to be made beginning Friday. The economic sectors that were affected by the COVID-19 pandemic have started to gain momentum, particularly the local tourism sector, and if this trend continues, Malaysia's economy will recover much faster. Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin said this can be achieved if the people practice the new normal by adhering to the standard operating procedures (SOPs) that have been set. Nevertheless, he said the government would be forced to reimpose more stricter steps if the people are complacent in observing the SOPs and if infection cases increased.
Sekiranya berlaku peningkatan kes COVID-19 secara mendadak dan memerlukan kerajaan menguasakan semula PKP, maka impaknya kepada ekonomi amat besar sekali. Penutupan semula sektor-sektor ekonomi boleh menyebabkan negara kehilangan sekurang-kurangnya 2 bilion ringgit sehari dan secara langsung menyebabkan kehilangan sumber pendapatan bagi jutaan pekerja di Malaysia.
He said this in a special address on the latest developments on the Recovery MCO, which was telecast live yesterday. Previously, Bank Negara Malaysia BNM has projected the country to register economic growth of negative 2% to 0.5% this year, while the International Monetary Fund IMF projected a negative 3.8% and the World Bank negative 3.1%. The Prime Minister also expressed concerns following the emergence of 4 new clusters since 7 July in Sarawak, Malacca, Terengganu and Kuala Lumpur. Thus, he advised the people not to be careless and negligent. He also urged everyone to be consistent in maintaining success in the fight against COVID-19. Phase 3 of the Cost of Living Assistance BSH 2020 payments will be made from this Friday, involving an allocation of 3 billion ringgit. According to a statement from the Ministry of Finance MOF, it will benefit almost 4.28 million recipients, comprising of 3.75 million households and 0.53 million single individuals aged between 40 and 59. The amount of BSH aid awarded will take into account 3.8 million children of BSH recipients aged 18 and below. For households earning less than 2,000 ringgit, they will receive 600 ringgit, while single individuals will receive 400 ringgit respectively. Apart from that, the households with earning between 2,001 ringgit to 3,000 ringgit will receive 350 ringgit, while 3,001 ringgit to 4,000 ringgit households to receive 100 ringgit each. The statement added that for new eligible BSH recipients who have yet to receive allocation from phases 1 and 2, the aid will be dispersed together with phase 3. It also added that an additional of 120 ringgit will be allocated to each child aged 18 and below, limited to 4 children per household, and payment will be dispersed together with the phase 3. Al Jazeera International Sdn Bhd did not have the film production license or the filming authentication certificate SPP to produce the controversial documentary Locked Up in Malaysia's Lockdown. This was confirmed by the National Film Development Corporation, FINAS. In a statement issued yesterday, FINAS said this was revealed by the findings of its initial investigation after the documentary went viral on social media. As such, FINAS said it will give full cooperation to the police, which are currently investigating the company under Section 22, Subsection 1 of the FINAS Act 1981, Amendment 2013, for carrying out film production activities without a valid license from FINAS. Al Jazeera, prior to this, released a 25-minute, 50-second documentary titled Locked Up in Malaysia's Lockdown that denounced treatments of illegal immigrants when Malaysia took steps to tackle COVID-19. Police were reported to have recorded the statements from several employees of the company involved in the production of the documentary to assist in the investigation under Section 4, Subsection 1 of the Sedition Act 1948, Section 500 of the Penal Code and Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998. YouTube sensation S. Pavitra will be recognized as this year's Ipoh City icon by the Ipoh City Council MBI. Confirming the news, its Mayor Datuk Rumaizi Bahrain said Pavitra, 28, who was born in Buntong, Ipoh, deserved the recognition as she had become instantly recognizable and even caught the attention of Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin since she began uploading videos of her cooking with her husband M. Sugu on YouTube. Pavitra, who speaks fluent Malay, will be among 10 others who will be named icons. Datuk Rumaizi said that apart from Pavitra, MBI had also identified 100 individuals from various backgrounds, among them entrepreneurship, art, civil service and teaching, who would be recognized as icons in stages. The mayor added that since the 32nd Ipoh City Day celebration this year cannot be held due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the recipients will be awarded officially at next year's celebration. Meanwhile, mother of 2 Pavitra thanked MBI for the recognition. Pavitra and her husband, who upload cooking their videos under the Sugu Pavitra channel, are closely followed by people of various races and age groups, including subscribers from overseas. Coming up in sports, friendlies to gauge under-19 progress. Stay with us. In preparation for the 2020 Asian Football Confederation AFC Under-19 Championship in October, National Under-18 head coach Brad Maloney is hoping to arrange 2 friendly matches before the centralised training camp ends on Saturday. The friendlies will be also a gauge of the squad's progress as they bid to become the first Malaysian team to qualify for the Under-20 World Cup final on merit.
Possibly 2. Not sure yet, not confirmed, but we're trying to organise 2 friendly matches if we can.
Maloney, who axed 4 players from the current training squad, added that the net centralised training camp would be held from 3rd August. United States-based midfielder Wan Khuzri Wan Ahmad Kamal can be an asset to the team, Maloney said, but is still not guaranteed a place in the final 23-man squad for the 2020 AFC Under-19 Championship in October. The 18-year-old St. Louis Football Academy player became the talk of the town when he finally joined the 34-man training session last Thursday after months of anticipation. However, that caused some uneasiness among local football fans, with some describing him as being overrated. Maloney, though, is satisfied with Wan Khuzri's progress for now. The 2020 AFC Under-19 Championship, scheduled to be held in Uzbekistan from 14 to 31st October, will be the qualifying round for the 2021 Under-20 World Cup in Indonesia. Malaysia has been drawn in Group D of the Under-19 Championship with former champion Qatar, Tajikistan and Yemen. Dato' Wan Abdul Rahim Wan Abdullah, who is also fondly known as Cikgu Rahim, has resigned as Kelantan Football Association KAFA President. KAFA Secretary General Hussein Deraman, when contacted, confirmed the matter. According to Hussein, the resignation is effective 6 July, a year after being elected at the Extraordinary General Meeting in July 2019. Dato' Wan Abdul Rahim had decided to resign as president because he feels that he is no longer capable of leading KAFA, as well as to pave the way for a new leader. The media previously reported that Dato' Wan Abdul Rahim and his deputy, Dato' Sri Afandi Hamzah, had been temporarily sidelined from managing the association, which is plagued by financial and debt issues. Hussein said there was no plan to hold an election for the president's post for now. KAFA thanks Wan Rahim for his services, although it was only for a year. Fabio Quartararo's sensational Spanish success on Sunday has suddenly made Malaysian outfit Petronas Yamaha Sepang Racing Team (SRT) a contender for the MotoGP World title. That is something which has even caught the Malaysian camp by surprise. Petronas Yamaha Sepang Racing Team SRT boss Dato' Razlan Razali was briefly lost for words when it came to describing Quartararo's Spanish triumph. The Frenchman's victory was the first for the Malaysian-owned MotoGP outfit, who only made their debut in the Premier class last year. It was indeed a remarkable feat, considering that for the first time, a Yamaha satellite team won a race in MotoGP, which is usually dominated by full factory-backed teams. Italian Franco Morbidelli, who recently signed a 2-year contract extension with SRT, also did well to finish 5th at Jerez. Dato' Razlan, who is the SRT team principal, said it was a proud moment for the team and Malaysia. SRT team manager Johan Stigeveld said he was delighted to see Quartararo, who came close with 5 second-place finishes last year, make the breakthrough, and he was also pleased with Morbidelli's performance. The national riders will get their first taste of competitive cycling at the Malaysian National Cycling Federation MNCF Virtual Ride Championship from 7th to 29th August, a contest which will prepare them for the bigger stage later. The race will see the riders on their bikes at various venues, but their timing, as registered by a sports app, will be collected centrally to decide on the results. MNCF President Dato' Abu Sama Abdul Wahab said the race was to keep the national riders in the best shape possible for competitions, including the Asian Road Cycling Championship 2020 ACC 2020, which is expected to be held in Putrajaya early next year. Dato' Abu Sama, who is also ASEAN Cycling Association ACA President, said the Virtual Ride Championship offers prizes worth more than 30,000 ringgit, including a 8,000 ringgit bicycle set and Umrah packages. He said the MNCF Virtual Ride 2020 can be considered as a warm-up tournament for the ACC 2020. In fact, Malaysia will also participate in 2 major tournaments in October and November. The tournament is only open to local cycling enthusiasts and will be extended to neighbouring countries including Singapore, Thailand, Brunei and Indonesia in the future if it gets encouraging participation. MNCF Virtual Ride 2020 will begin on 7th August with participants having to complete a 40-kilometre ride. Those interested in taking part can contact the MNCF at 06 2830 150. That's it from us this afternoon. In our top story, economic sectors start gaining momentum, hold fast to SOP. News at 10 comes on at 10 this evening on the Berita RTM News channel on My Free Views channel 123. I'm Azlani Adani. Thanks to you for watching.